Hello shooters, I'm Dr. Tactical, and as many of you know, I have become quite the fan of the Revolver. That's right, Dr. Tactical is a fan of Revolvers. Not Dr. Cowboy, Dr. Tactical. And you know this because I've made a lot of videos recently just talking about what it is about Revolvers that sort of turned me on. Now, that said, today I want to talk about some of my concerns with Revolvers. Now, as a tactical guy, I want to put optics on everything. But why do I think it's a bad idea to put an optic on a Revolver? Also, why is a semi-auto pretty much always going to group better than a Revolver? Well, let's get into it. I'm Dr. Tactical, and the doctor will see you now. Welcome back to the channel. And those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. I hope you like what you see, and if you do, please consider hitting that like button. It lets other people know that you enjoyed the content. Also, by all means, hit that subscribe button. We actually are the only channel on YouTube right now that offers a full money-back guarantee on your subscription. So, if for any reason there's something you don't like about what you're seeing here, or the content or the channel, please put that in the comment section, and you will receive a full money-back refund for every penny you spent on the subscription, as long as YouTube subscriptions are free. So hop on that while you can. Also, by hitting the subscribe button, it allows you to hit the notification bell. And the notification bell will let you know when more highly educational and entertaining content like this is being released. So please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and share with your friends. You know what, screw it. Share it with people you don't even like. Let them, screw them. Make them watch this. Let's get on with today's video. So I have here two guns. I've got my Staccato XC, which is Staccato's top-of-the-line 2011 9mm. And I have my friend Ron's Spoor. This is the Club Edition, which is Spoor's top-of-the-line. And it is the 4-inch 357 model, which is also capable of shooting 9mm if you swap the cylinder. So we have here two world-class guns. One of these guns has a much higher capacity than the other gun. One of these guns is way quicker to reload than the other one. One of these guns is way more durable than the other one. One of these guns is way more reliable than the other one. One of these guns can group beautifully, where the other one, not so reliably. And we're going to talk about why that is. So one of these guns deserves to have a red dot on it, and one of them doesn't. So let's get into it. Obviously, the capacity goes to the Staccato, to the semi-auto in general. Semi-autos just have the ability, because of their design, to hold more rounds. Now, as far as reloads, because of the magazine design, you can reload a semi-auto significantly faster than you can a revolver. Durability is going to go to the revolver. The revolver is a fighting gun. The revolver will not be pushed out of battery. By the way, both guns have been safety checked and cleared. The revolver is going to be able to handle crappy ammo, even good ammo that just had a bad day, or ammo that crapped out, I should say. So that will put a hiccup in your step with a semi-auto. So, and you will never limp wrist a revolver, where that could become a problem on a semi-auto. And I hear you guys right now being like, oh, I'm never going to limp wrist. I practice all the time and have my perfect grip. Remember, I'm coming at this from a defensive standpoint. And chances are you're going to be in an altercation that's going to have a physical component to it. And when that happens, you could find yourself on the ground shooting. You could find yourself on your side. You could find yourself shooting from all kinds of positions, one-handed, upside down, who knows. But at the end of the day, this gun's going to fire all 6 shots. This one, you may become a one-trick pony if you limp wrist and you're in a compromised position. So there's benefits to both of these guns. If we're distance, this guy. I want this guy. If we're up close hand-to-hand, this guy. But why? Why is it that I think that a red dot's not a good idea? Well, first and foremost, no, not foremost. First, the foremost is coming. First, on a lot of the red dot guns, they have where they have rails, such as on this Spore, they put the rails towards the front. Why do they do that? Well, because you've got explosions occurring in the cylinder, and you've got a gap. You've got a gap here, cylinder gap between the forcing cone and the cylinder, and flames shoot out of this thing. And what happens is that takes a toll on whatever piece of plastic or glass or even metal, whatever you have up top, it's going to take a toll. Also, this gun, a revolver, is going to kick more than a semi. And for that reason, it's going to be a lot more abusive on the optic. Putting the optic towards the front at least takes it out of the direct line of fire. And it's not really at the pivot point. It's more just sort of in the front with the going up and down. And it actually adds to giving you more weight on the barrel, which can be helpful for keeping you on target. So that's one reason, so now you've got to put the optic further forward on the gun. That's one. Why is it that this is not going to group as well as a semi-auto? I mean, think about it. A semi-auto has a barrel that when you go back, it tilts. It actually tilts down. So you've got a reciprocating force, you've got a barrel tilting, you've got all kinds of stuff moving. Yet why is this capable of making tighter groups than the revolver? Well, actually the answer is the barrel. Notice when we talk about barrel length, with a semi-auto, we're measuring from the end of the barrel to the beginning of the chamber. So that's your length. When we're measuring the barrel length on a revolver, we're measuring the actual barrel. We're not measuring the chamber. So we're going from here to here, and the chamber's its own entity. That's not part of it, where this would be part of it in the semi-auto. So really, you should even be in better shape here, because most of the time, if we're talking about a 4-inch and a 4-inch barrel, you really have a 4-inch versus maybe a 3-inch or so on a semi-auto. So that makes even less sense. Why will this gun not group as well as this gun? Well, the answer is actually the chamber, because you have here 6 different chambers, and Spore actually numbered their chambers. And there's a reason for that, because the chambers are not equal. Believe me, I am sure that Thomas Spore has done everything humanly possible and mechanically possible, because he is an engineer extraordinaire. But even with great painstaking effort, to have all 6 of these cylinders being exactly the same at the time of firing, because that's another point. When this gun is back, this is locked up pretty well. There's a little bit of play in here, but there really is hardly any at all. This is a great revolver, by the way. I love this thing. But there's no play between the barrel and the chamber and the barrel on the staccato, or on any semi-auto for that matter. So you have 6 different chambers, which means each shot you take is a little bit different. And the longer the barrel, that's just going to sort of... Here's what happens when we lengthen barrels. And I'm just sort of saying that because I hear people in the background saying, or coming over their screens, saying, wait, if you have a longer barrel, that will stabilize it. And it will stabilize it better, because it's going to increase the velocity, and there's more surface area and grooves that the bullet's going to rotate and go through. But if it's off, it's off. And you're not going to have as tight a group as if it's one consistent chamber barrel together. So that is the reason I think that if you try to zero a red dot, you almost need to set it for each chamber in the cylinder. So basically, this says this, as I said, is numbered. So you could take one, fire it, make your adjustments on the red dot, go back to one, do it a couple times. If I had a red dot on a revolver, I think what I would do is I would do that. I would just zero it to chamber number 1, and I would walk around with it loaded to chamber number 1. Therefore, I know my very first shot, the red dot will be accurate for. It's been zeroed for that particular chamber. It is not zeroed for the other chambers, and you have to keep that in mind. You know, we always talk about how, you know, just you want to be consistent with your ammunition, because you know, when you zero a red dot, it's really for whatever ammunition you're zeroing it at, but it's also for the chamber. So if you're going to if you're going to put a red dot on a revolver, and it's not a bad idea. I mean, you're definitely it's going to be a quick way to acquire your target. It's going to let you stay on the same focal plane, you know, with the target and the dot. There's all the benefits that come with red dots don't go away. It's just you need to know when you're talking about precision, it's going to be zeroed for one specific chamber. And the other chambers are probably going to be in the proximity, especially with something like a Spore or a Korth or a Manurin. I mean, that quality of revolver is, you know, a lot of effort's gone into it, and high-end Smith & Wessons and Colts as well. Rugers, definitely. Tauruses I'm pissed at, so we're not going to talk about them. Anyway, that's kind of the main point of today. I wanted to talk because I'm always singing the praises of revolvers, but I want to be clear on some of their shortcomings. So the shortcomings are capacity. We know that. Speed reloading, we know that. These are trade-offs that most of us are willing to take. When it comes to accuracy, it is accurate. You have a fixed barrel, like we were talking about. You don't have a reciprocating barrel. And if you stay to one chamber, your first shot, you can be highly accurate. But just know that your follow-up shots will have some variance, and understand why. And that's the trade-off for all the positives that you get with the revolver as far as the reliability. And again, I'm not saying that this is bulletproof, no pun intended. You can have problems. You can have catastrophic problems with a revolver. You can have catastrophic problems with a semi. But bullet issues will, I mean, actually it's not true. You can still have bullet problems on a revolver. If the bullet comes out of the shell part way, if you get that jump, that can be a problem. There are things that can happen with bad ammo, squibs and what have you. But as far as light primer strikes or something of that nature, that's going to be a much more serious problem in a semi-auto than it will be in a revolver. And as far as things like limp wristing, that goes away. That's a non-issue in the revolver, and that's a big deal. That's actually one of my biggest concerns. And no, I don't run around limp wristing at the range or practicing, but I know that there are compromising positions that can result in in having a limp wrist and not having that second and third follow-up, and that concerns me. And that goes away with a revolver, and that's a big deal. All right, that's it. I've made my point. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time, please, by the way, like and subscribe. Really helps the channel. And put some comments in the comment section. Let me know if you have a revolver that has had issues as far as grouping, and you've wondered why, or if you have other reasons that you're thinking, or if you think I'm full of crap and that you're going through the same hole every time with all 6 shots. Talk to me. I'm Dr. Tactical. Dr. Tactical, out.